Hey y'all, welcome to Christy's Cropping and Creating. And today I have this fantastic layout that was inspired by a sketch that came from our book that some of you may have gotten back in 2021, 110 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketches. So this idea is on page 99, and this is what the finished design looks like there. And as you can see, my sample, it's got the same basic concepts, but it doesn't have the same colors. I'm not using mountains and scenery like that to decorate with. I'm using just border maker cartridges. Right here, I did leave a space for a title and some sort of decoration once I know what pages I might want to use. For those of you that are Georgia football fans, you might think that this looks like a great Georgia Bulldog page. And shout out to my friend Nancy. And I mean, there's lots of things you can use this for. You could use it for Christmas, for Valentine's Day, or for any activity, some other kind of school spirit, not just Georgia, the University of Georgia. And then tonight, I'm going to be creating with our National Scrapbook Day collection. And so this is the project recipe. So I'm going to be using the citruses, the lemons and limes, the striped paper, and the sunshine paper. And I'm going to also be using dark green and canary cardstock. And while I'm doing this video, I want to point out a few tips. And one of the things is, look at my planning board. This is literally just a piece of cardboard left over from one of our paper packs, one of our cardstock packs, and I pre-cut some things to save some time during the video that I'm working on, and I put the pieces on my planning board. So don't you love air quotes, especially when you're trying to do it in a camera? So this is my planning board with my pre-cut pieces, and since I'm here, I'll go ahead and show you. I'm using the Citrus Slice Border Maker cartridge. I'm using the lemon, also known as limes, olives, plums, peaches, and other things can be made with the lemon punch. I'm using the pineapple punch. The pineapple punch is still available. And oh my goodness, I just realized I forgot to double check. I know it is still available. We've had it for a little while, but what I forgot to double check on is it might be on clearance. So you might be able to get it for a better price than what it would normally cost. So I'm using the pineapples. And then I'm using those papers. So that the first tip was that I wanted to show you that that planning board that is just a leftover piece of cardboard. Okay, so I'm going to get started in making my page. And one of the other tips I wanted to show you is when you see a sketch and you're trying to decide, what you want to do. Sometimes I think I can do it with just the idea in my mind. And I'm thinking, oh, I'll remember when I get started. Well, more often than not, I don't remember what it was I wanted to do. So I decided to start writing notes on my paper that or on my page. Now, of course, this only works if you have the sketch printed out in a physical form. Otherwise, you would have to figure out a way, and some of you are technologically savvy enough that you can save the idea digitally, and then you can make notes on it digitally. I'm not quite that savvy, but this book, of course, is already printed for me. And so I just wrote on here what background paper I wanted to use in which place, and some other notes like that. So that was another tip. Make yourself notes about what you think you might want to do. Okay, so moving right along, another tip, since I just saw it, as I went to put this down. When I was pre-punching some of these items, I tried to space things accordingly. And let me move my sample pages because it gets hard to see when you're looking at one thing on top of another. So I tried to space things accordingly so that now I can use this lime punched border. Just imagine it across the top of a page with words and letters inside of it, so it spells out a title. And then the same thing with the pineapples. Now, I realize some of you are gonna look at this and you're gonna be like, those pineapples are not equally spaced. Okay, so maybe they're not perfect, but I'm not worried about perfection. I'm just worried about getting pages done. So technically neither the limes aren't perfectly spaced either, but they're pretty good. And we can talk about tips about how to better space or equally space things in a different video, but I did just want to point out the fact that I did try with this. So that is another tip I wanted to show you during this video tonight. Okay. I have my silicone mat sitting here, and this little latch is what's making the mat pop up and everything. I'm gonna really, what I need to do is put this on my right hand side and then my cutting mat on my left hand side so that it doesn't get in the way. And I'm not sure I'm going to take the time to do that right now. I want to just keep moving so that I don't keep y'all longer than you would like. But again, here is my sample. The great thing about this layout is that, of course, if your pictures are the right size, it will hold at least 7 photos. You have a journaling box, you have a title that's already there, and you have built-in decoration. Okay, we are going to get started, and my background paper for the layout tonight is going to be the lemons and limes. It is a busy paper. I realize that it is. And this layout, because I'm choosing to use this, may end up being busier than I would normally prefer. But I am going to use the striped paper to make the side design that is going to go on both pages. So one of these striped pieces needs to be 2 inches by 12 inches. And I think I'm supposed to give the width first and the length second. So I'm saying 2 by 12. If I really should have said 12 by 2, then y'all just going to have to forgive me. This 2-inch piece is going to go over on my right hand page, not completely at the edge, but it will go on the right hand side. My next cut of the striped paper is going to be 4 inches. And I will say that if you made this piece 5 inches instead of 4 inches, that would probably still work with the layout. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it at 4 inches by 12 inches. And it is going to go on the left-hand page, also on the left-hand side, but not completely at the end of it. And then, give me 1 second. Let me read my notes to see what's next. Oh, okay. I need another piece of paper. It's going to go on this right-hand layout. And the sample that is in the book, it was a very scenic a very scenic paper. It's very realistic looking. So I'm not using paper like that, like it looked like a true mountain scene. It looked like a photo of a mountain scene. Well, I'm using the sunshine paper that is citrus slices on the back. And quite honestly, I don't know yet if I'm going to use this yellow side or the white background side. I'm going to decide that in a minute. But in the meantime, I wanted to point that out to you that I don't know which side I'm going to use, but I'm going to make this cut at 4 inches. And So it will be 4 inches by 12 inches. And since it doesn't matter, since I don't know yet which side, it doesn't matter, you know, if the paper was directional, but I guess if you, you know, if the back of your paper is directional, then make sure you're cutting it in the direction that you can use should you decide to use the back of it versus the front of it. Okay, I think I'm finished. Well, probably not. I started to say I think I'm finished with my trimmer for now. So essentially, these two papers are going to be right beside each other. And in person, it's okay to have the white background against the stripe, especially since this paper is so busy. But let's see what it looks like if I turn it this way. So now I get more of a punch, so to speak, and I kind of like this punch. So I think I will use the sunshine side of it, and we can still fix that in a few minutes if I decide to use the other side. All right, so with this layout, I am going to be using this as my border. Let me pull my sample back out. If I can get it without ruining my planning board. So on my sample, I used the Ancient Key chain border maker cartridge to make my edge here. And so this green citrus border maker punched piece is going to go on the far right and the far left side. And I decided before I started the video, filming the video, that I want to double this so that it will be green and yellow, just like our paper is green and yellow. Now, it's kind of hard to hold that and look, which one do I like better, the yellow on top or the green on top? And I think for this layout, for the busyness of this paper, let me try one more time. Do I like it better? Oh man, 1 minute I think I like it better with the canary on top, and 1 minute I think I like it better with the dark green on top. I'm gonna stick with the green on top. Okay, so you don't have to double your border like I'm doing. I'm just doing it for a little bit of emphasis. And so that's going to go over there like that. And then I already have some more pre-cut pieces. Okay, let me move my sample back out of the way. And they are also going to, it's going to go over on the far right-hand edge, and it will be layered, double layered again, just like the left-hand side. And y'all, please forgive me if I say right hand when I'm working on the left hand and vice versa, left hand when I'm working on the right hand. Y'all just have to forgive me for that. I really do have to do like in kindergarten and look, this is left, this is right. So y'all just ignore that flaw that I have. So this is the, this is the start of the layout. And before we go any further, we're going to go ahead and stick all of this down because it will help to have these pieces already adhered before we move on. And let me take a sip of my drink. But I will also tell you, because we're layering this border on the outside edge, it will probably be easiest if we adhere those pieces first. So I'm going to put my repositionable adhesive on applying it to my border that has all these holes in it, so to speak, on my silicone mat, since the silicone mat lets you wipe things off so easily. Oh my goodness, I apologize. I'm making so much noise, dropping things and all, but I just want to, and one of these days I really will get my desk, my workspace cleaned off, but that day is not today because I would rather create than take the time to clean or organize. Okay, so I'm putting that piece on first, and then I will layer the dark green on top of it. And if y'all would like a silicone mat, make sure you email CM product suggestions. Okay, well, that just backfired. I can't remember the exact email address. Okay, never mind. Let me know and I will get the address to you so that you can email Creative Memories to request these silicone mats come back, because they really are nice and they help keep our good mats, like for the custom cutting system, clean, and then they also allow us to quickly and easily apply the adhesive to our projects. And then, you know, like if I've got excess on there, just rub it right off, and it won't, because it won't rub off easily from this. So your 2-inch piece is going to butt right up against your green citrus slices. Okay, that's kind of hard to tell that it's bumping right up against it because that last stripe is yellow. So you just have to trust me that that really is bumping right up against it. All right, now I'm going to put my adhesive on the back of this paper, the sunshine paper that I did decide I want the sunshines going up. And I'm going to butt this completely up against the striped paper. Well, I do need to make sure I'm getting all the way to the top edge, which I didn't at first. And that's why I love repositionable tape runner, because it is a permanent adhesive, but it also allows you to reposition the things that you might have gotten crooked to begin with. Okay, so this page for now is complete. Of course, we will work on it some more in just a few minutes, but I'm going to put it out of the way so that I can move my left-hand page over. And again, I'm going to start by putting my my yellow citrus down first. And you know, if you want your citrus slices facing to the outside edge, that's certainly up to you. I wanted them to face in. So my left-hand page, the citrus slices will be facing inside, pointing to the right. And my right-hand page, as you saw just a minute ago, the citrus slices are pointing inside to the left. So that's how I'm doing mine, but you can certainly do it a different way if you would like to. Couldn't get my fingers to work. All right, so when I did the first one, and I'm gonna hold this up after I get it layered on here, I put the edge of my dark green strip, I layered it. That edge is about 1/8 of an inch. And this is what I'm talking about. Here is the edge of my canary strip. And so I layered this 1/8 of an inch edge of the green citrus slice over it, so that, you know, instead of putting them completely on top of each other, because I wanted you to be able to see there's two colors there. Y'all see that? So there's two colors of citrus, the yellow and the green are showing. Okay. Next, my 4-inch piece of the striped paper will butt up against the citrus, just like it did on the other page just a minute ago, when it on the right hand side, it was right up against it, and it will be right up against it on this left hand side as well. Just have it completely against, and then make sure you're even with the bottom of your paper, and you know you're going straight when it's up against it, but then you're also even with the top of your paper. Okay, so this, let me switch these around. if I can do it fast enough. Maybe that will work. So here is my left-hand page. Here is my right-hand page. And that gives you an idea of what we're going to have in the end. Now we're going to decorate this part right here. Let me get my sample back for you. So on my sample, I used the mirrored Scallops Border Maker cartridge. I used the double RickRack Chain Border Maker cartridge, and I punched it in the red and in the black. So it punches, it's a double RickRack. So it punches 2 reds in one cut and it punches 2 blacks in one cut. So then of course I just, took the red from one. Let me show you. So this red is completely left over and this black is completely left over. But anyway, so I just kind of mixed and matched them onto my page. And then, okay, so that's mirrored scallops in black and in red. And then I did the double RickRack in black and red. And then I just kind of built my border accordingly, because from the sketch, you have 7 sections of decoration. So mine has 6, but I have this space left that I can do the 7th section of decoration. Okay. So for what we're doing tonight, over here on my edge, I'm going to use the green citrus slice. I'm going to use some lemons. Lemons or limes or both. I punched out both, thinking that just like the citrus slices, I might want to double my lemons and limes on the border. This is completely up to you. You can also have the leaves of your lemons and limes going the same direction or 2 different directions. And this is what I had in mind. I was thinking about doing kind of opposites, the green on the back of 2 of them and the yellow on the back of 1 of them. All right, so that's one thing. And then my pineapple will also be on my my decoration. I'm gonna call it a chain. So each of those, if I want to call this a chain, so one of my chains of decoration will be the pineapple, and one will be the lemons, and one will be the citrus slices. Now, obviously, I have to cut this Border Maker cartridge down to a 4-inch strip, and I'm going to squeeze 5 pineapples onto this. And I'm also thinking right now, if I'm going to change the colors of the citrus slices and the lemons, then I'm probably going to want to add some green to my pineapples. That'll be easy to do because look, I can make the green fronds for the pineapples. That's going to make this video a little longer than I had thought it would be, but that's okay. No worries. Y'all ain't got nothing but time, right? Okay, so you need 2 rows of each of these decorations. And maybe I shouldn't say you need, but you're probably going to want 2 rows of this decoration. Up here, I did the lemon on top, the canary on top, which is a lemon. It's the shape of a lemon. And down here, I think I'm going to do the dark green on top of 2 of them, and the lime on the bottom of 1. So kind of opposites for these 2. I don't know that I would do the pineapple as, oh, this needs to also move down because my pineapple needs to be next. I don't know that I would do the pineapple in opposites, but that's okay because it doesn't have to be like that. Okay, so I have this and I've got to cut it down, and I'm going to show you. I've already pre-punched this, And I didn't cut it off yet because I wanted to show you where I cut it. So let me slide. It's so hard to do things easily when you have limited space. But I think most of us work in limited space. What I wanted to show you is where I decided to trim my Citrus Slice Border Maker cartridge. I put the end of the seeds at the 1/8 of an inch mark, which is where the next cut line is. And I know that's a little bit hard to see. Let's see if I can get it to focus in. You know, you're cutting on the left-hand dotted line. So 1/8 of an inch is about where that second cutting line is that you're not cutting on, or the dotted line that you're not cutting on. So I'm putting that paper, the seed holes, over on that mark, and that's where I'm choosing to cut. You can also see that I had the Border Maker cartridge on one side of my paper and the lemon punch and the pineapple punch on the other side. And that's kind of a tip I wanted to show you, is that sometimes when you're working with one side of your paper and then you need to do something else with the other, don't take the time to pull out your trimmer yet and go ahead and cut it off. Just turn your paper around and go on that way. It may or may not save you a little bit of time from having to pull the trimmer in and out and that kind of thing. So now I have this ready to go, and I know that it needs to be in 4-inch increments because that's how wide that that strip of paper is. So I'm going to go ahead and take my canary paper of the Citrus Slices, and the 4-inch pretty much does work out to where it's going to be right here in this crevice. But I'm going to go ahead and make this into thirds. I will be using 2 of those 4-inch slices, and then I'm going to do it with the green, the dark green. I'll go ahead and cut this into thirds with my trimmer. Again, I'm going to be using 2 of the 3. And let's see, I don't need my trimmer right now. What I need right now are some green pineapples. At least I think that's what I need next. I'm trying to see if I have a scrap so that I can punch from the scrap instead of pulling out another sheet. So give me 1 second to keep looking. Oh yeah, there's a scrap. Okay, so let me punch some green pineapples really quickly that we can use for the tops of our other pineapples. And I'm just gonna, this is one of those punches that's kind of like got a 2-step punch to it. So the pineapple comes out from in the middle, and the other holes come out from elsewhere. So y'all just don't mind me while I'm punching. If I use the fronds for all of them, I'm going to need 10. So let's see how many I can get out of one strip. And if I can't get enough, I may just cover some of them for this video rather than making y'all watch me do 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, yay, I just need 2 more. And this is not the way to do it such that you're spacing it and, you know, having it to where you can use it as a different border, since I'm literally just punching over and over again and not paying attention to where this is going. But let me make sure this is cleaned out, and I'm going to make sure I have 10 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yay. Okay, and then I'm gonna, since I didn't use a trash board, I'm gonna quickly wipe off my dots here. I say I'm quickly going to do it. They kind of static cling to the mat, which is one of the reasons I like to use the cardboard to punch on. I have a roller to help take care of this too, but it would be hard to get it out quick enough to do it while I'm trying to video. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Okay, so for these pineapples, I can either take the time to cut off the fronds, or I can layer it like this. I think, I hope I won't regret this, but I'm going to cut off this frond. Just literally, I'm just going to cut it straight across. I'm going to see if I like it just doing it this way instead. And I think there's advantages to both. So, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it like this. At least I think I am. Oh, I know what I can do. I can do some of them with the green on bottom and some of them with the green on top. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'm gonna do one more and then see what I think after I do this one more. Okay, green on top. And then, oh, wait a minute, that was the wrong direction. Okay, so I need the yellow. So I think this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do green on bottom for every other one and green on top for every other one. And then the second row of this will be the opposite. So you're still going to need, I think you're still going to need 10 of each. But that is how I think I'm going to do it. Okay, so let me get my things back together again so that we can start building over here for this left-hand page. And my citrus slices, if I want to double layer, it would be, you know, again, green on top or yellow on top, canary on top, 3 lemons, and then my pineapples will go next. And of course, you could change the order. You can change the items that you're putting on your side over here, because like that sample, the sketch, I keep calling it a sample, but in the sketch, it's like a mountain view, and they use leaves as one of the decorations and canoes as one of the decorations. So, you know, you can use whatever you're wanting to highlight as part of your page to make your page kind of come to life. And so that will be that row. And I will do my, after I skip a space to leave for the title, I don't have everything spaced correctly yet, but after I skip a space for the title, I'm going to start down here where I ended up here. So I will go citrus, lemons, pineapples, just like I went citrus, lemon, pineapples. So citrus, lemon, pineapples, pineapples, lemons, citrus. Hopefully that makes sense. I probably didn't explain it in the best way, but this is how you will do things. Oh, I just saw I've got the leaves going the opposite way on this one. Again, that is something that you could do. You could have the leaves go, you know, kind of back and forth. But since there's only 3, I want them to go all the same way. So that's how I'm choosing to do that. Oh, I just looked up at my computer screen and I see that this looks cute. So let me finish making my pineapples, and then we will start adhering these things. That will go there. This is going to go here. So actually I need less green pineapples than I did yellow, since I only used 5 green because 1 green fixed 2 of the yellow pineapples. So that's how that's going to work. So I was wrong in saying that I still needed 10 of each, but if y'all have known me long enough, y'all know I'm not a math person, and I know that I should have been able to add that since that was simple math, but oh well. Okay, so now I'm ready to adhere these pieces, and I'm going to move my right hand page out of the way because I like to use this silicone mat to put my adhesive on. So I'm going to put the adhesive on the back and and layer all of my sections over here. I will tell you that I just kind of, on my sample with the reds, I started about a 1/2 inch from the top of the page, but quite honestly, the layers that I'm using in this are thicker. So I'm only going to start about 1/4 inch from the top of the page, and I am layering my Citrus Slice Border Maker cartridge. The lemons are especially, quite honestly, the lemons are proportionally bigger than the pineapples, which is kind of funny because in real life the lemons are going to be smaller than pineapples, but oh well, I guess this isn't about reality. The next thing I was going to tell you is that, so I started about 1/4 inch from the top. I came down on my sample about 1 inch from the border above it. This time, I think I'm only going to come down about 1/2 inch. So if you're layering things like I'm layering these lemons and limes, you might want to stick them together ahead of time like I did just now before you put the adhesive on the back. And but I think that it's probably okay if you don't. And you also could probably make this a dimensional border by adding some foam squares. Sometimes I use foam squares and sometimes I love them. Sometimes I don't. So I'm choosing to not pull out my foam squares. And I'm kind of making these lemons and limes go angled a little bit, but you don't have to do that. I think it looks great as just a straight across border. Right. The way I'm going to put my fronds on top of my pineapples is I'm going to put the adhesive on the pineapple itself, and then I'm going to put that back on there like that, and then I will add the adhesive to the back. And again, I'm coming down from the top, from the border above it, about 1/2 inch. It's a little bit harder to see with the top of the pineapple. I want you to be able to have space in between the top and the excuse me, I'm not saying this right. You want to have space between the third border from the top and then the third border from the bottom, so that you would have room to come in there and make a title once you know what you want to go on the design. So that's one of the reasons I want to make sure that you are leaving some space. Of course, if you don't want to use it as a title, you don't have to. You can just fill it all in with yet another another border maker cartridge design or something like that. So I'm finding that the bottoms of these pineapples and the tops of the pineapples, the fronds, they kind of do have a direction to them that I wasn't really accounting for earlier, which is why it's taken me a little bit longer to put some of these together than it would have. But if I'd known I was going to do this, I could have done that ahead of time too. So again, I'm making 5 of these pineapples go across since they are smaller than the lemons. I'm probably not doing the best job at spacing them currently, but I am not, again, I'm not a perfectionist scrapbooker. So to me, it's really not that huge of a deal to not get it if I end up not getting it perfectly spaced. I can't get this one to pick up. Okay. Now I know that what I'm working on right now is a little bit tedious, and I'm probably rambling and that kind of thing while I'm doing this. But I just realized I've dropped a piece of citrus too. But what I was going to say is the very end of this is going to move pretty fast because all we have to do after I do this part is cut the mats for the photos. Let me grab this one that got knocked in the floor. And if anybody wants to play Jeopardy music while you're watching me put these pieces together, feel free. I think I said that in last week's video as well. Or if I didn't, I thought I did. My last lemon lime combo. And then if I can throw my pineapples together real quick, we will move right along. The advantage that you guys have, YouTube is not always the easiest format for fast forward and rewind, but at least you could you could fast forward through watching me do this tedious part if you know how to maneuver it easily. I can't hit the fast forward on my fingers because my fingers will only go so fast. I'm not even sure that pineapple is straight. The one that I adhered just a minute ago. We're getting there, folks. One more pineapple. last one. And again, like I said, on the row ahead, my pineapples might not be really as evenly spaced as they should be, but there is the gist of what we're doing for this page. I know that this is busy, but boy, I love this layout. Okay, so here is where my title could go. And you know, whatever other decoration you might want to use. So there's the left-hand page. Here is my right-hand page. And one of the things that's going to help calm this busyness down a little bit, of course, is your photos and photo mats. Now, if you want to use printed paper to make your photo mats, you certainly can. I more often than not, I hate to say hoard my printed paper, but I don't know. It's just sometimes I feel like my printed paper is more valuable. Like I don't want to use it as much. So I'm just going to use cardstock to make my mats with. And I'm going to make my cardstock out of, I think, out of a combination of dark green and the canary yellow. Let's see, what did I do on my sample? On my sample, I made all of my mats. Yeah, I did. I made all of my sample out of my, for my mats out of black. I did use this white lined paper to make my journaling box. And of course, you can get lined paper from your advisor. And you can choose to make that journaling box or not. I'm probably actually not going to make the journaling box for this layout tonight because I feel like I've made this video go on long enough. But I'm going to start, I'm going to tell you the measurements for our photo mat. We're going to need 3 4x6s. I am going to make, this is a 12-inch piece of paper. I'm going to make a cut at 4 inches twice. So that will be dividing my 12-inch paper into thirds. I'm going to turn one of those to 4 inches and cut it twice. So it will be 3 4x4 squares when I'm finished. I'm going to leave these over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to pull out my arm of my trimmer. And I'm going to cut one of the 4-inch by 12-inch pieces in half so that it'll be 4x6. And I'm going to cut the second one in half so that it will also be 2 4-inch by 6-inch pieces. I think I'm only using 3 of them, and I can't see my sketch right now. So give me just a second so I can double check that. Okay, so I have one extra 4x6 piece that I'll put in my scrap pile to use later. And this sketch has the 4x6s going, 2 4x6s going horizontally on the left-hand page, one going vertically on the right-hand page, and 3 4x4s arranged something like this on the right-hand page. So there's your 7. You've got 7 photo mats. I'm sure you could find a way to squeeze in another one. Of course, they would be completely, there would be no space in between them, but you could find a way to put in a third one in through here. Except for then you wouldn't have space to do that journaling box. The journaling box on my sample was 2 inches wide, 2 inches, well, let's say it this way, 4 inches wide by 2 inches deep. And then I used the corner rounder on the bottom of it so that it really looks like it's coming out from under the photo that would be here. And then my mat, my journal mat, I trimmed 1/4 of an inch smaller so that I had an 1/8 of an inch border to go around it. So if I don't have a green 2-inch by 4-inch scrap laying around anywhere. Let me look one more place and see if I have one I don't have the canary yellow either, but you know, just imagine if I cut this to go underneath to be a journaling box. But okay, so let me just put these down real quick, and then I will wrap up this video. So I am going to leave space at the bottom for a mat, for a journaling mat, or for another photo to go. But I'm not going to take the time to cut it right now. And then what I also wanted to point out is that I'm coming about a 1/2 inch in from the center seam. So about 1/2 inch in from the right-hand side. And over here on my right-hand page, I want the top of my 4x6 vertical mat to be even with the top of the horizontal mat that's on the opposite page. Now, if I had my paper lined up better on my mat here, I could make sure that I'm going to be at the right height. And I think I've got this right. And so it's about a 1/2 inch in here and about 1 inch from the top. And then this top 4x4 is going to also be even with this. And I'm going to come in about a 1/2 inch from this sunshine piece of paper so that you see, you know, see all the details that you have created here in this part of the layout. This bottom 4x4 is going to be, trying to see if it's even with anything. It's not. It's just kind of, you know, about a 1/2 inch down from the vertical mat above it. I'm going to say I'm coming in about 2 inches from the side. Did I? Okay, yeah, I did already stick that one down. That corner was sticking up just a little bit, and so I thought I hadn't done it yet. And then this one is just kind of placed, I'm going to say about a 1/2 inch below the one above it, and about a 1/2 inch in from this one. So you almost have, can I call that a triangle? You almost have like a triangular look here. And so this is what the finished layout will look like. I'm going to get them to slide back together so that it will look like a double page spread. There you go. So this again was the paper from the National Scrapbook Day 2023 project recipe. I have made the project recipe that was given to us in the collection, but this is just using the papers in a different way, and it's copying or using this sketch as inspiration from the book 110 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketches. What was the name of it? I don't want to butcher that. 110 Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketches. And this book was from 2021. If you need an advisor, I'm happy to help you. My website is creativememories.com/user/Christy Bolin. And Christy is spelled Kristi. Bolin is Bolin. Oh, look. Here's my thing that I have from last week. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at christybolin@gmail.com. And I would love to help you. And I do have, I'm not sure if the project recipes are still on the website or not, but if they're not, I do still have a few extra. Or for that matter, you may have attended my National Scrapbook Day and you got a project recipe, but now you're seeing this idea and you want to make this too. So let me know if you need another project recipe collection. It does come with 6 sheets of designer paper, 2 sheets of cardstock, and it also comes with this cute sticker sheet and these 2 border stickers, and then these other stickers that you can use to decorate your page. So there we go. I hope that you enjoyed this tonight, and I hope to see you again next week when I air another Christie's cropping and creating video. Y'all have a great one.